Alright, so I'm going to go through this book pretty quick here. I'll just show each page, and if I need to touch on something, I will. Before you watch this, in fact, do not watch this until you've listened to my presentation. It's only about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to do it after this, so somewhere in between there. Here we go. I just simply entitled it Mandela Effects and Known Truths. These are the things I come across, and I cannot debunk them. These are things that I have found along my ways of finding better ways to do things, you know, shortcuts to get to an end. I like to have free energy for the house, so I started there, and it just kind of threw me down this rabbit hole. Mandela Effects, we'll start with that first. I'll just, you know, quickly touch on each one. Here's a full page listing here of them. There's a whole bunch of them, but you know, I'm not going to go through every one. I started recording earlier. It's like 6 minutes just on Mandela Effects. You know, some interesting things to note. Mona Lisa has a smile now. Here's a picture of that. It even mentions the smile worn by Mona Lisa was a thing. These are paintings that were done by artists that were trying to recreate that neutral image that we all know so well. Another one. This is right out of a book out of the library. No internet deception going on. Same thing out of the library. God's back parts, and he shows his feet and backsides to man in, I guess, the contempt or disgust. Now, this is on the Sistine Chapel, apparently. I'm quite surprised there hasn't been some kind of a joke made about this, some comedian somewhere along the way. Apparently there's glass drinkingware now at the Last Supper. This is American Gothic. This is the couple. They posed for it, and they probably stood just like this, because that's how we remember it. And now we got her looking off to the left. Moses has horns. Mickey Mouse lost his suspenders. Never had them, I guess. But some people made some counterfeits. For some reason they decided to add suspenders. Everybody remembers Risky Business. This is some college kids, I guess, going off for Halloween. Some don't have glasses on for some reason, and shorts. Weird. And this is what everyone will find now. No Ray-Bans and a pink striped shirt. This is Wizard of Oz. Scarecrow's got a gun. Tin Man's got a pipe wrench. Cowardly Lion's got a butterfly net and a spray can of witch repellent or remover. Ford logo used to look like that, kinda. Now it's got this pigtail. Oscar Mayer. You know how the song goes. Not M-A-Y-E-R. Some parts in the Bible, some words, things are a little different here. Aliens, couch, bottles, replaced wineskins. There's that unicorn. I guess there might be unicorns now. And I got page after page. There's a bunch of stuff. People's names change, geographical locations, a bunch of movie titles, and you know, everybody knows this is the thinker position. Arnold. I should have a picture of Arnold doing it. He did it the best, I think. And this is what we have now. If you try doing that position, you'll find it quite awkward and very hard to think. Some more. There's a thing on the Lindbergh baby. Was actually found dead 3 weeks after the kidnapping. Most people thought that the Lindbergh baby was never found. Strange stuff. More pages, more pages, more pages. I mean, guys, I want to have enough credible evidence here so that you guys believe that I've done my homework. You cannot debunk these things. These are things that happen right in your home. You know, I don't remember these planes. I looked into being a commercial pilot, and I looked at many a different planes over the years. This would have been my first choice to fly. That looks cool. it's in operation since '52. I don't know. Anybody remember this? It's the de Havilland Comet, and it's like British, but still, it's kind of front forward engines now instead of right under the wing. If you see a child's picture, or even an adult, you draw a picture, a really fast picture of a plane. Do you see the engines? Do you draw the engines? Do you see the engines? No, they're underneath the wing. You get wing and fuselage, and maybe the tail if you got a creative person there. All right, this is JF Kennedy assassination. There's 4 people in the cars. Everybody that I've ever talked to remembers. Yet this is in the Zapruder film. It's a stretched 6-person 3-row limo, and yeah, you'll find that to be odd. Maybe, I don't know. There's some pics I put together. Berenstain Bears now is not EIN, it's AIN. Kit Kat lost a hyphen. Chick-fil-A is Chick-fil-A now. Curious George, no tail. Just pin the tail on Curious George and some of a birthday game. Weird. Johnny Quest lost the H. And Tweedledee and Tweedledum got some flags on their head instead of those little spinners. The beanies. And I found some weird animals I never seen, like deer type things with fangs. Weird horns. I don't know. That one's the only one that kind of seems like I might have seen it before, but the hell's that? It's like something out of Star Wars, or your Nightmare. This little guy here, you think they would have made him a pet by now? And then things that'll give you a nightmare. Look at this guy. I don't know. Another page. So yeah, guys, if you haven't seen me in a while, this is why. Alright, so that was Mandela effect, and then it goes right into some strange things here. Again, really, if you have not watched or listened to my presentation prior to this, please stop right here, because this is where it gets. If it wasn't strange enough before, this is where it gets really strange. It gets more into like conspiracy theory stuff like that, and you guys have been trained to discredit people like us as to be nut jobs, tinfoil hat wearing, paranoid freaks. But I didn't choose this life; the life chose me. I'm just here trying to wake a couple of people up here. There's some big plays afoot, and we need to wake up fast. So I'll get through this as quick as I can, but it's really hard. I really want to spend a little more time on this because I know 90% of you probably right now haven't listened to my 15-minute presentation prior to this. So I'll keep my fingers crossed that you have a completely open mind about this. But anywho, there it is. Again, this is I titled this Mandela Effect and Known Truths. Okay, I don't use this word lightly. This is me. Okay, here we go. Operation High Jump. Let's see. Maybe we should start. Yeah, let's go over here real quick. Okay, here's a picture of NASA sending us about our Earth. This is 1967. I don't know if you can read this or not. It's a bad blow-up picture. It's a single image from a satellite 22,000 miles from Earth in 1967. 22,000 miles from Earth, and it's that color. Just a couple years later, 72, apparently I don't know, the air got really clean or crisp, or maybe it was winter, I don't know. 1972, this is an image from Apollo 17 lunar mission, 28,000 miles away. Okay, so 22, so 6,000 miles more, same size. I don't know, maybe they got the zoom exactly right. All right, quite a few years later, it looks like we really cleaned up the planet, really got rid of a lot of the clouds and stuff. This is 2002 composite image taken, only 443 miles above Earth. But man, I mean, composite image, they nailed it, right? Except the color's a little off. And then, you know, 13 years later, we've got a single image, just one shot, bang, 930,000 miles above Earth. Same size, all different colors, right? Okay, so that's sketch, right? Okay. So here's some more sketchy stuff. This is the CGI of what they say Neptune looks like, but if you look through a $1,000 camera that you can go buy right now online, this is what you see at Neptune. You see the difference? Those are what you'll see with your own eye. Those are what you will really see. That's what real stars look like. Okay? Brace yourself, guys. This is where you live. If this guy here says it's Photoshop, but it has to be, he's the one that makes the blue image, Mr. Robert Simon. Okay? He's photoshopping your reality to make you believe that you live on a ball. You don't. These are old maps. It's something like that, something like that, or something like that there. Okay? These are old maps. They knew heliocentrism. Sorry, heliocentrism. That word. Copernicus put it together in 1597. It was just a theory. And Pope Paul the Third ran with it. And it's basically, you know, it's the simplest explanation of the whole reason for all this is, you know, control of power. You know, if you can control all the people, you got all the power, right? Simple. And there's a bunch of proofs. You know, there's mathematical equations and stuff. So you know, they tell you how big the world is around, and the basic maths. You know, anybody that can do this is beyond me. But I mean, somebody smarter than me had already figured it out. They've got scientists all over the place. Quote, I'm going to do the air quotes here. Scientists will tell you all sorts of different things and on why it's curved and this and that, and you know, they've got a lot of big words. A lot of big words are there to confuse everybody. I'm not here to confuse everybody. I just do, you know, basic research. You know, I'm no genius here. I just, you know, putting two and two together. You know, this Bishop experiment. You know, look into these things. I mean, how can you go 23 miles, 20 inches above sea level, and you know, there's no curve? There would have to be something. And our sun is close. This is a simple experiment. Do it at your home. This won't hurt anybody. You just take a piece of cardboard, cut some holes in it, pretend it's like a cloud, and you got holes in it, and put a light source right above it, and I believe it's called crepuscular rays, cast outward. And if you take it out to the sunlight, that sun is far away, they're going to go straight down, bang. And this is what we find when we look with our real eyes. It's all there, guys. You know? This is Greenland. This is Mars. Same. Weird. Why would NASA lie? Oh, because they can't get there. Okay. As they say, NASA base. Yeah, they have a NASA base there. They admit to it. But you need a base to film all the footage they've been throwing at us. There's a big one there. And guys, this isn't nothing. All this is photoshopped. I'm not putting all this together to get views. I could care less about being famous. I just think this is very important, and it needs to get out there. And there's so much information here. So much information. The crew of the Challenger shuttle is just live and well. This this lady here, Kristen McCullough. That was a famous name there. Works at Syracuse University. There's her information right there. Got it right off the internet. It's public knowledge. There she is. Looks pretty good, doesn't she? For a dead person. Huh. There's the tracking of the shuttles and stuff like that. So it's a big arch because there's no space. They can't get there. There's some guard wires. They use acrobatic cables and CGI. Some more pictures just don't match. There's a spacewalk. There's the quotes there. This is what they do. Now imagine being what kind of spacesuit would you need to be in 3,000 degree temperatures, you know? And they just go out there like they're just walking the dog. Oh yeah, I gotta change a couple bolts, and I gotta slap this sticker on over here real quick. Yeah, this guy look familiar? Yeah. He directed the moon landing. Here's some info on it. Pictures say 1,000 words, they say? Something like that. Pictures are worth 1,000 words? That sounds better. This is a actual photo of the sun. That's a the Nikon P900, and they got a P1000 now, which is probably even crisper, but this is just the old P900, $1,000 camera. You know, go debunk me. I don't know. I'm not going to spend $1,000. Somebody already spent it. I got my camera, and I got some pictures, and this isn't anything fancy. I'm not trying to be fancy here. They're fancy. The liars are fancy. We got to be simple. They're duplicatable. Look at this whole book right here. I probably have maybe 30 bucks into it, and you know, my time. So, which has been a little bit. So, look, here's where you live. You're on a flat Earth. There's the firmament. Plenty of biblical references to it. Over 200. There's a clear dome over us. We're never going to hit by asteroids or meteors, so don't worry about any of that. And now I'm not a Bible thumper, super biblical. I haven't gone regular to church or any of that kind of stuff. My parents go, but I gotta say, you know, for a book that's over 500 years old, they knew back then it was flat. So something changed. You know what else is fun? Once you dive down that and you realize that, you also start realizing that old mountains are old tree stumps. Yep, that's an old tree stump. So imagine the oxygen levels if those put off oxygen. You know, back in the day. There's some other pictures. There's a quote-unquote mountain in Australia. That's a tree stump. Venezuela has one. I mean, there it is. That's Antarctica. The wall's out there. There's a flat plane you live on. There's some things on flight maps or on flight paths. Some don't make sense on a globe because it's not a globe. Sometimes they just turn off the radar contact just to, I don't know, make it seem like they're somewhere else. I don't know. This is the UN logo, broken down in 33 Masonic parts, if you want to circumnavigate that rabbit hole. Someone tells you that there's no ice wall in Antarctica. Show them this picture. Oh, there you go. Just show them this video, I guess. It's all there, guys. I mean, there's no craters. These are just either sinkholes or explosions. That's probably from a big bomb that went off. Yeah, probably a tree stump there. This is, okay, let me go back. This is them blasting the dome. Operation High Jump is when they, Operation Fishbowl, when they found the dome. They started blasting, I guess, like 11 nuclear weapons at the dome to try to crack it. They couldn't get through it. with big ones. Operation High Jump, when they searched for their outer edge, and they found it. Those are the pictures I have back here. Bang. Alright, so then if you go, you know, a couple 100 miles this way or here, I guess you bump into the wall, the dome. They do an infrared camera, high altitude. They get rid of the fisheye, because that's what everybody sees as a fisheye now. Though there's the curve. No, it's not. There's no curve. It's perspective. Satellites are made out of gold, aluminum, titanium, carbon fibers. You know, here's the melting points. Now, 3,632 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what the temperatures get up to. So, alright, yeah, the moon landing never happened. NASA says out loud that they lost 200,000 tapes. Somebody else said it was equivalent to a metric ton of tapes written over. They wrote over them to save money. A company that, the organization that gets millions and millions a day, needed a couple extra tapes. 200 flat Earth Bible verses. I'm not gonna get into all those. I'll just kind of, you know, curve over it a little bit, hover over it. Fun fact: 3 corporations run the world. So you have London, Washington D.C., and Vatican City. Look at the Vatican owns your souls. There it is, right here. This basically says that anybody living between the North Pole and the South Pole or whatever, their soul belongs to the Catholic Church. And then you have all the materials are owned by them, Unum Sanctum. There's a lot. There's so much on that alone right there. I'm not going to get into that, but this is where it gets into scary stuff here, folks. Lockheed Martin's website alone, they're talking about advanced test high energy asset system known as Athena. Basically how it works is it takes a bunch of energy and light and beams it like a laser and just cooks everything. Here's the end result. These photos might look familiar. These are out in California. Wildfires. No trees burned. I mean, they got singed a little bit, and a couple of them cooked if they fell onto the structures that were already burning. But if you look, there's no debris field, really. I mean, a typical forest fire like that, I mean, you'd need dump trucks after dump trucks to clean the debris out, and they can't find anything. I mean, how does that happen? Look at that tree over there. It's fine. Alright, I said I was going to go through this quick. I'm sorry, guys. This is Greece. It looks pretty much the same. Pretty sure they're just doing this all over the place. These are actual forest fires here. This is what it looks like after fire takes its course there. This was put out a little bit early, but still, I mean, you'd have some shingles, you'd have some structure left behind. You know, a stove, toilet. Those things are gone. There's a whole building, just nothing around it. Green trees everywhere. These pumps are fine for some reason. Something about this building just had to get vaporized. The whole field, straight line across the athletic field. One of the schools just torched, straight line. Weird, huh? Never seen a fire do that in my life. This is it. This is one of their tests that they'll show you. There's a whole video on that right there. That's a picture of it. Thanks, Lockheed. That's all drawn there. What do you think that does right there? Alright, hold on your hats. It gets even worse. I mean, we need to talk about crisis actors here. This lady is a crisis actor. That guy is a crisis actor. Remember this here, that live shooting? Seriously, that's the look you get when you get a bullet in your chest, right? Close range. Mind you, that guy was holding that there for about, what was it, 23 seconds? It's all fake. Never happened. This guy never did that. Sandy Hook, they are all alive. This guy right here went from, this guy's Robbie Parker, went from here to here. Then says 24 hours later, yeah, I was one of the fathers that lost a child in that tragedy. Baloney. I got kids, man. I'd never in a million years do an interview 24 hours later after my kid was slain. If anybody ever asked me to do an interview within 24 hours after that my kid was slain, that dude's going to the hospital or then some. Come on. Wake up, people. Okay. Died in the shooting at Sandy Hook. Also injured at bombing Boston Marathon. You know, same person over here in 4 places. How convenient. How much is she making a year? It's a crisis actor. Crisis actors. Come on. Vegas. Hey, wonder how my fantasy football team's doing. Oh yeah. Hey, yeah, honey, I might be home a little late. They're gonna give me $75 to stand here and look like I'm scared. Okay. What the hell is this guy doing down here? This guy is not calm. Yeah, there's a bunch of cops laying and jumping around, and I don't know what's going on here. These two did not do San Bernardino. This is all fake, guys. Come on. Nobody died at Sandy Hook. This guy had a great article, and you can find this out there. I'd like to give him some credit out there. I'll throw it on there if I can. Very good. Here's he listed a whole bunch of articles and stuff. I mean, this is, all their homes were paid off on December 25th, 2009, properties and stuff like that. Then we got Project Bluebeam. There's a video, this right out of school, comes right out of the water, or right out of the ground, looks like a real whale. 9/11 didn't happen. This is what birds do to a front of a plane. You're telling me it went through multiple layers of that? That's a 22-ton chunk of steel. One. How many do you think make up that? Lots. Lots and lots. Boom, explosions, controlled demolition. You know, here's a nice picture of a flash going off before a plane even hits. I don't think there's any planes. I think it was Project Bluebeam. And I don't have much left on this battery here. I'm going to just cut through this quick. I got more and more. That plane didn't go through that space. That's a plane crash. Those are plane crashes. They lie to us. Gulf of Tonkin was a lie for Vietnam. Operation Northwoods. They're going to try to screw Cuba over. Libya. 10 things that they don't want you to know. Great article there. It looked like a really great place to live until they got some freedom from us. You know, it's a lot to do with oil and gold and all that. You know, it's ridiculous. Look into the Federal Reserve note. It's just, you know, I talk about chemtrails, geoengineering. Look, they produce their own rain clouds. The military's dumping stuff on top of clouds. It's not good. HARP. They just boil the upper atmosphere. Good stuff. 200 patents government's got going on here. You know, all sorts of crazy stuff. You know, hydrofracking sucks. We know that. Just light your tap water on fire. There's all the nice stuff that you get in here and what it does to your body. Agenda 2030. You might want to look into that. They got plans for us. Rothschilds. Yeah, these are the people, this Rothschild family. $700 trillion family wealth. Come on. There's your owners. Gold Standard. There's a whole bunch of this, you know. Here's a fun one right here. And, you know, they did it. Well, I don't have time for it. But anyways, that's 30 minutes. That's probably enough for you guys anyways. Again, that's the book. If you want to meet up, talk, you know, whatever, just you know how to get a hold of me. Thanks. Have a great day.